and welcome back to OJ Coaching, your stop for inspirational and educational videos for living a disciplined and successful life. Today, we are going to be discussing who is the 21st century Proverbs 31 woman. And I'm privileged to have in the studio today some wonderful women who will shed light on that for us. To my right is
Tosin,
Sharon,
Ivy,
Benny.
Welcome. So we'll go right straight to the point. Now, Proverbs 31 woman is taken from the woman described in the Bible in the book of Proverbs chapter 31 from verse 10 to verse 31, basically. So, who is she to you?
Okay, so for me, Proverbs 31 woman, because from here it says a price is far more than rubies. So what is rubies? Rubies is precious stone, and so when we're saying we're relating it with Proverbs 31 woman, it means that she brings value to the table. She brings, she has wisdom. She uses her wisdom. She gets understanding, and also she brings beauty to the table. Like she's beautiful. Yeah,
and I agree with that actually. I've heard there was actually a man I met recently. They were newly married, and he was telling us, "Oh, before my wife came into this house was totally different. Now she's here. You see all these beautiful things here." So I believe that a 21st century Proverbs 31 woman, even as little as changing the outlook of a house, making it look more presentable, is part of the value she brings. Okay, so it's not far-fetched.
Yeah, and also verse 20 says she extends a helping hand to the poor and open her arms to the needy. So she's also supporting the community. She's open. She provides mentorship and emotional support as well. Yeah,
that's interesting, because you would have thought that the need is just in terms of material needs, but there are actually needs in the area of emotions too. So it's easy to be a Proverbs 31 woman. Okay, now let's keep searching through and see who is this woman.
Verse 11 says, her husband can trust her and she will greatly enrich his life. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. So a Proverbs 31 woman, a husband can trust her with everything that he owns, his money, his resources, his heart. And he can trust that whatever he places in her care will not go bad, right? And it says she brings him good, not harm, and she makes him better. She brings out the best in him. She does not do him evil. She does not intentionally hurt his feelings, hurt his hands, right? So yeah.
Nice.
I also like how verse 16 describes the Proverbs 31 woman, and it says she goes to inspect a field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. Her going to inspect the field, it tells me that she's in charge of what she does. She's a hands-on woman, and her also using her earnings to plant a vineyard, it shows that she knows how to make wise investments. And another verse that also caught my attention is verse 30, which says, charm is deceptive and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. I like the fact that she fears God, even though she's wise financially, emotionally, and every other wise. She has what I'll say is the most important thing, which would even help her to be more successful in the other areas, which is the fear of the Lord. So yes,
that's excellent. That's excellent. So I like verse 15. It says she also rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maidservants. So now talking about rising in the night, I believe that one of the ways she provides food is not just providing physical food. Yes, she would provide physical food if there is need for her to stay up late in order to ensure that her family eats, or to rise up early, she's able to do it. But also providing spiritual food for them, that which they need to thrive, that which they need to be strong. She rises while it is yet night. She can rise up to pray and ensure that there is food for her family. Okay. Who is this woman? And I also like verse 22. Verse 22 talks about she working with her hands.
Yes.
She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Well, we can see many things from there. And I'll jump to verse 24. It says she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies sashes for the merchants. But I want to zone on the part where she makes things with her hands. She's creative. She can do things.
Yes.
So there are many things. There are many ways in which a woman can do things with her hands. She can be creative in cooking, creative in sewing or knitting, typing. But at least she can do something with her hands.
Yeah.
She is able to produce something.
Yeah. Even 27 says she carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. So she's not lazy at all, like you said. She's busy, she's hardworking. Exactly.
So I'll just go with 22. You spoke about 22 the other time, but I just want to make emphasis on she makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. So it means that like her clothing, they describe it as fine linen. She dresses so well. She doesn't just go out shabbily just because she's married now. So she dresses so well. As a king's daughter, you should put on your royal garments, and when people say they are
Preach.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go with 21 also. It says that she's not afraid of snow for her household. For all her household is clothed with scarlet. It means that she plans her ahead. Like nothing catches her on her way. So she's prepared.
Yeah.
Verse 17 also says she is energetic and strong. She's a hard worker, so she takes care of herself. She doesn't just leave herself to chance. She takes care of her health. She's energetic. She's not lazy. Part of not being lazy is being energetic, right?
Yeah.
She's not tired all the time, and she's strong.
That means she does what it takes to keep her body strong. If she needs to exercise, she does. If she needs to go for medical checks, if she needs to watch her diet and nutrition,
She should be going to the gym.
It's all about what she goes to the gym. Yeah. I like verse 27. It says she watches over the ways of her household. We've talked about the idleness and laziness part, but just for the fact that she's aware of what is happening in her environment, she knows what's going on in her house, and she knows what's going on in her husband's life, in the lives of her children. She's aware. She watches over. She has a responsibility towards her home, and everyone in her home. There's a part that talks about providing food not just for her family, but also her maid servants. That means for as long as there's somebody who is part of her household, they are her business. They are her concern. She has a stake in what happens to them, in how they are cared for, in how they turn out. So that's a Proverbs.
Okay, so for 28 says that children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. So I'm just going to come from the perspective of, she trains her children in the way of the Lord. Because for them to be able to realize that, call her blessed, so she has trained them in the way of the Lord.
Yeah. And then she has also been kind to them, I believe. She has done them well. I mean, you would only bless someone who has been a blessing. Many people can take it for granted that, your children are going to love you, are going to bless you. But I think the Proverbs 31 woman will be very intentional that I want it to be that when my children grow up, they remember that I was a blessing to them. They remember that I really took care of them. She's careful not to overemphasize on discipline and harshness. But I believe that she also will want to be remembered as a friend, as someone that was.
It says that
verse 26.
Yeah, it says that in 26. Yeah, it says when she
Yeah.
speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instruction with kindness. So,
She's not always angry.
Always shouting and chasing
And
them.
also, I really want to say something about 26 that says she opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. There's a common saying that women talk a lot and all of that. So it shows that she has wisdom.
When
It comes from above and all of that. And she's really kind.
She knows when to answer back, when to stop talking, basically. Yeah.
Okay, I also like verse 23. It says her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. Her husband is a respectable man. She brings in a contribution where she helps a man to become dignified. She helps a man to become honorable. She helps a man to attain a role where he's respected in the community. The community could be the society, the church, the family anywhere, but her husband is a honorable man. She's not the one who pulls him down with her tongue, with her attitude, and even just makes sure that he doesn't rise by not providing that avenue for him. So she contributes to his rising, and she really wants to see that he becomes the very best. That he can be. She's not just concerned about herself. So yes, the Proverbs 31 woman is financially independent. She takes on projects, she invests, but in her presence in the man's life, she also ensures that that man also rises to the height of his own potentials. Yes. Okay, have we exhausted?
I like verse 30. Charm is deceptive and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. So it's not just about outward appearance. They've talked, this chapter has talked a lot about, taking care of herself, what she does on the outside and all that, but it's more about what she has on the inside, which is the fear of the Lord and her reverence for God, right? Because she's going to grow old at some point and all that charm, will fade, but it's the lasting effect of her fearing the Lord and her walk with God that actually counts at the end of the day.
Wonderful. So verse 18 says she perceives that her merchandise is good, and is it merchandise? Merchandise is good, and her lamp does not go out by night. So I want to take you from the perspective of not just the physical night seasons, even the night seasons of life. Maybe she's going through a difficult time, going through a trial, a challenging time. This place says her lamp does not go out, even at night. The Bible tells us that the Word of God is a lamp unto our feet, a light unto our path. So even her trust in God, her commitment to the Word of God does not go out, no matter what challenges she's going through, because that is what gives her direction. So her trust in God is alive, her confidence in God is alive, her relationship with God remains alive, even in the night seasons of life. So we believe that with these few points of ours, I hope we've been able to convince you that it is possible to be a Proverbs 31 woman in today's world. Many people say, how can there ever be a woman like that? But we do believe that, going by even the books where the Proverbs 31 woman idea comes from, you can be a Proverbs 31 woman. So here is us wishing you a happy International Women's Day. Bye from us in OJ Coaching. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. See you next time. Bye.